Hello, good morning, good people. I um, wanted today to talk about gratitude and focusing on things on purpose, or leading your actions and your thoughts to the direction that you want them to be heading. So, a couple things to talk about there. Before I get into it, I want to go through the 8 things to tell yourself in the morning from Mel Robbins. Um, so we'll just do it very quickly. 1, today is going to be a great day. 2, something cool is going to happen today. 3, no matter what happens today, I can handle it. 4, an exciting new chapter in my life is starting today. 5, I need to give myself more credit for how hard I'm trying. 6, I'm allowed to be a work in progress. 7, if I keep showing up, life will reward me. And finally, 8, I have an important contribution to make to the world. So yeah, today I just really want to talk about just having a good attitude for no reason and not really looking outside yourself for validation, but rather focusing on where you want to be, what you want to be doing. So a few years ago when I went to the UK, I had like a 2 year working visa. And when I first got there, I was doing a lot of volunteering. I was sort of just like halfway between on vacation and getting myself settled into living there. I ended up in Liverpool for 4 months over winter, which was, but the UK culture is so focused. It's a pub culture. So I was going out drinking a lot. Um, I was working a little bit, but also like just getting like sluggish, gaining some weight. Like I drink beer, so the beer was not helpful. Um, and because it's winter, like what else are you gonna do? I was going to the gym sometimes, but the going out and the only social thing to do, going to the pub, was it like clearly not the like healthiest choice. And then I went away for my birthday and I went on this big trip to Japan and Bali. Anyway, a friend of mine gave me the Tony Robbins Awake the Giant Within book. And I was like, okay, you know what? Uh, I've just had a birthday. It's a good time to like start a new path. I started reading the book. I got back to the UK. I started reading the book. Um, I moved to Scotland. I got a job eventually. Um, I was sort of volunteering for accommodation at first, and then I got a couple jobs. Anyway, I'm moving ahead, but basically, I was like, okay, we're gonna quit drinking for 6 months. First of all, this is before I found my job because it was like it takes up so much time and effort and money that I'm not making. Also, so it makes sense to just cut that out and focus on the things that I need to focus on. I'm also reading this book and trying to get my mindset um, better. Um, and so with that, it was like, okay, I'm looking for work. Yeah, cool, great. But what am I gonna do, like, to fill this hole that was my social going to the pub? So I joined. Well, I was sort of already part of a running group that also did drink a little bit, but I got into this running group. I was going to the gym. I ended up getting a membership to like a 24/7 gym. And also, there was a very small hike in Edinburgh, Arthur's Seat, which is like easily less than an hour the whole way. So I started doing that whenever I had time. I actually did find a job, and then I was still doing my volunteering for accommodation. So at that point, I was so busy that it was like, I don't know how any of these people are finding time to drink. It's like that. I'm working, I'm going to the gym, I am like socializing, and then when I do have some time off, I'm going off and like checking out Scotland and doing little hikes and stuff. So with that, it was like making money, going to the gym, and hiking where my focus is. And I think that's what made it end up. I think I ended up not drinking for like nearly 2 years or something, because it wasn't like I was just like, okay, the goal is to not do something. The goal is to do something, which was gym, make money, go on hikes, and do like outdoor things. So I think that's a whole big thing. Like when you're trying to stop doing something or to move into a different direction, you don't want to focus on the thing that you're not doing. You want to focus on the things that you are doing or should be doing or want to be doing or whatever. Um, it's like the whole thing with like riding a bike or driving a car. You should be looking at the direction where you want to be heading, not looking at the things that you want to, the obstacles that you want to avoid. Um, so earlier this week, I had this whole thing where I was out of the house. I was getting into this other routine, like out of my at home routine. And then I had one week where it was like I was doing a lot of things. It was very productive, but it wasn't a routine. And then this week, at the start of the week, I don't know what happened, Monday and Tuesday, which I melded into one day. Actually, my video on Wednesday, in my mind, it was still Tuesday. But Monday and Tuesday just blended into this like nothing. I like didn't get a lot done. I literally woke up every day and just was scrolling on my phone for like hours and just like do a little of something here and there, do the dishes, whatever, but like really wasn't accomplishing much and wasn't feeling good about how I spent my time at the end of the day, basically, because I went from having like this other routine where I was kind of like busy and knew what I was doing for most of the day without having to think about it or make choices, really, to just having like this big open expanse of a day and week and most of this month. I don't really have any huge like time specific commitments, I'll say. So yeah, I just end up like turning on the TV, being on my phone, just like, yeah. And then Tuesday night, I was like, okay, because the thing is, I wake up in the morning and then I don't have anything. Like I can do anything. And I don't have any specific like, okay, we're gonna wake up and do this. So I'd wake up, I would start making coffee, and then I'd be on my phone or watching TV or just sitting on the couch doing literally nothing. Um, and so yeah, Tuesday night I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a list of things that I want to get done tomorrow, and I'm gonna do them before I pick up the phone or turn on the TV. None of that's gonna happen because at one point here on, I mean on and off, when I was like I am now, like I have been mostly for the last 6 months, just sitting at home with no real like reason to get up or do anything. I have been trying to like find ways to avoid just turning on the TV or being on my phone watching endless scrolling videos of crap. And yeah, the best thing is to write first thing, start doing things that you want to get done. Um, so that's why I started getting to this thing where I get up and do 2 sets of the flights of stairs in my building. So I get up, maybe I make a coffee first, whatever, but within the first like 30-40 minutes, I want to be out that door and walking my 12 flights of stairs. And then I feel like that gets you on a momentum of like, okay, now I've accomplished that. I've done a bit of exercise. The blood's flowing, and I'm not just gonna sit down now and watch TV or whatever. So yeah, I think that's focus and direction into the right way, and then you get onto that path, and then you're heading in that way. And first thing in the morning is such a thing of like, especially when I don't have a job to go to, like I need to like head into a direction to do things that are good. And just on like a little side note of that, focusing and keeping your direction on positive or helpful things. For me, like writing things down is really helpful and positive, because it's like, oh, what can I do, especially when it's not nice out or I don't have any plans or whatever, which is most days. Um, just writing things down. Gratitude letters I've been doing. You just write to people that you are grateful for and why you're grateful for them, and you don't send it to them. It's like journaling but more directional, excuse me. Also just journaling, gratitude journaling, or just regular journaling, or just, I know so many people are against these like self-help life plan things, but you can find so many of these life plan or like self-help exercises, and it just gets you like writing and doing something that's, you're focusing on your own self and what it is that you're trying to do and where you want to be in life. And that in itself is an action. Even if it doesn't in itself result in something, it will get you focused on what it is that you should be focused on. And by being focused on something positive, then you are not being focused on something negative. Kind of like how when people are really hateful or angry and you're like kind and understanding in return, sometimes that counteracts in it and brings them out of that. Whereas if you respond with hate to someone who's being hateful, then that just escalates and becomes an explosion, really. So, last thing, people who are against self-help exercises, books, stuff like that. And I know a lot of these people are making businesses out of these like life coach things, and it does seem like a scam of like, you're teaching other people to be life coaches, and it's like a real pyramid scheme situation. Clearly it is. But there is such a thing as being a mentor or being a good example without making it into a business. And I think looking at or being interested in self-help or life improvement exercises, etc., is a good thing. You don't have to spend money on it. There's so many of these things for free. And the only thing that's stopping most people is the feeling of embarrassment that they think, if someone finds out that I'm doing this, then what are they going to think? And so many people are scared to do things that would be good for them because of them thinking, oh my God, what is everyone else going to think about this? And it's like, who cares what everyone else thinks? It's your life. Anyway, that's my little rant for the day. I hope you're doing well, and we'll hopefully be updated, maybe not this weekend, but sometime next week. All right, peace.